You see him lift out of the gas, the flames, crowded chase, got into him, but they saw some retaliation there.
Or,
oh boy, for the second straight year, we have an intentional wreck and literally a copy-paste of scenario number one. Scenario number one being Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson last fall at Las Vegas. Larson forced Wallace up into the wall. Wallace retaliated by right-rearing Larson. And today at the Coca Cola 600, we just hit the halfway point. Stage 2 is over. Chris Buescher from Prosper, Texas won the stage. But yes, Elliott and Hamlin had made a little bit of contact earlier in the stage. Hamlin just barely bumped Elliott. It wasn't much. It wasn't even enough to really get Elliott up the racetrack. But the hood flaps flew up a little bit, but they were both fine. But then later, Hamlin coming off of turn 4, literally just like Wallace and Larson, Hamlin washed up the racetrack a little bit, maybe hit Elliott a little bit, maybe not, but Elliott ended up hitting the wall. And Elliott, as soon as he hit the wall, got back in the gas, hooked a hard left, hit Hamlin's right rear, and went hard into the wall, even caught a little bit of air. And Elliott's car was destroyed. Hamlin's car obviously destroyed. And yeah, it's a bad look. I think NASCAR's got to say, they got to be consistent on this one. That looked just like Wallace and Larson's crash when Wallace intentionally wrecked Larson. And yeah, I mean, at first I thought, oh, maybe Keselowski clipped Elliott into Hamlin, and you know, maybe there's a misunderstanding. Elliott will explain it soon, but no, Keselowski didn't hit him. That looks pretty intentional to me. And the post race interviews or the post crash interviews were about as you expected. Hamlin was pretty pissed off, called for him to be suspended, said, you know, that shouldn't be happening. Said it was just like the Bubba Wallace Kyle Larson incident from last October, and that Elliott should be suspended, and that has no place in NASCAR. And I would agree with him on that. There should never be any right rearing in NASCAR on any track, whether it's a mile and a half like this or Las Vegas, where we've now seen it twice, whether it's at Martinsville, whether it's at Daytona, whether it's at Sonoma, Watkins Glen, you name the track, it should never be happening. If someone bumps you, yeah, sure, bump them up the track a little bit, you know. The most extreme case, I'd say spin them out, but to intentionally wreck someone, to right rear someone into the wall at a mile and a half where you're going over 190 miles an hour, that's unacceptable. Elliott, after the race, he had to say, he basically said, oh, yeah, I got ran up the track, and once you hit the wall, your right side's destroyed. You can't control the car. And yeah, he's not going to blatantly admit it. Even if he doesn't blatantly admit it, in this situation, he's getting suspended, in my opinion. I don't think he'll be racing at Gateway next week. But yeah, that was not a good look. He kept on dodging the question, kept on saying, the right rear was destroyed. The right side was destroyed once I hit the wall. And I don't really believe that. But obviously he can't go out there and say, yeah, Hamlin put me in the wall. I intentionally wrecked him. You can't say that. And he had to dodge. But he, you know, if he was trying to make it believable that he didn't do it, he could have at least, you know, apologized and said, sorry, I really, truly did not mean to do that. The car really did break. You know, he could have made it sound like it, but it doesn't sound like he wanted to try making it sound like it. Sounds like his lack of apology to me was pretty certain that he intentionally did that. So I don't think we'll see Chase Elliott back at the races next week at Gateway. I think Josh Berry will be back in the car. Josh Berry has not gotten a 3-week break from the Cup Series this year, because race 3, he was in the car for Chase Elliott, and then it was 2 races without Berry, and then he filled in for Bowman. And now, a week and a half, or a week after Bowman returns, this is Bowman's return today, and Josh Berry's going to be back in the car. Oh my goodness. I guess good for Berry, him getting Cup experience, but not the way he wants to do it. In this case, you know, when Elliott got hurt, when Bowman got hurt, it's like, okay, that's unfortunate. You don't want to see that. But when someone does that, it's like, okay, they deserve to be out of the car for what they did. So I'm a Chase Elliott fan. I'm saying Chase Elliott should be suspended. That was literally a copy-paste of the Bubba Wallace Kyle Larson incident. Yeah, I'll see you guys after the race. I don't do a lot of mid-race incident reviews unless it's an intentional wreck like this one. So there you go. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. I know this isn't the normal setup, but I'm in the living room watching the race. Commercials. Shocking.